Welcome everyone to the first H1Z1 Weekly. This is going to be a very long one since so much has happened already, and it includes patch notes, user complaints with my reply, and whatever else happens that week. So what is H1Z1 for everyone who is subscribed to my channel but doesn't know? As many of my subscribers are from the War Z, also known as Infestation and Survivor Stories, I'm just going to go over a quick recap of what the game is. It's a survival zombie game with base building, and it's currently extremely popular, just like the War Z was. However, H1Z1 isn't completely full of hackers, and developers aren't lying about everything. Boy, does that bring back some memories. Now onto the unofficial patch notes. On the 15th of January, the minimum players required to call in an airdrop has increased from 50 to 100. On the 16th of January, the minimum players required to call in an airdrop has increased to 120 from 100, and Blackberry juice weight has decreased from 100 to 50. On the 20th of January, many items are now stackable. Animal traps and dew collectors can now take damage. Icon changed for the basic backpack. Model changed for the red helmet and blue helmet, as well as the basic backpack. The slash respawn command has been added, which will kill you and respawn your character. Fixed an issue with loot being prevented from spawning inside containers. Fixed the metal gates, which is still broken. Floating arrows will now not cause damage to cars or obstruct them. Structures are now more resilient. Zombies will now not slide and attack you while knocked down. That's still broken. Dragging bold items into your inventory that you can no longer fit will attempt to grab as many as it can. The dew collector should now work, which is still broken. A metal door recipe has been added. You can now filter servers by region. Right-clicking options has been removed from the proximity items. Melee damage has been rebalanced. Stagnant water can be purified on a barbecue. Bear meat can also now be cooked on a barbecue. Knives, hammers, wrenches can now be melted in a furnace to create metal bars. Machetes and AR-15s generate more metal bars now when melted down. Rabbit stew can now be cooked. Animal traps now take damage. Animal traps now require nails to be crafted. You are not required to crouch to pick up some blueberries now from blueberry bushes. Event tickets can now be found throughout the world. On 21st of January, smarter and more zombies. 200 EU servers are coming online, and tons of unknown bug fixes. On the 23rd of January, loot spawn rules revised. Players' names will not show now while proned. Metal doors fixed. That's unknown at this point. I still have issues myself. Punji sticks, dew collectors, and rabbit tracks will now decay over time, but can be fixed with a hammer. Spool of twine now has a new icon. When making arrows, you now only get one instead of two. Barracks now have an increased resilience. Metal pipes, metal sheets, and hunting rifles can now be melted in a furnace to make metal bars. 2 servers with the same name have had one renamed. The ground tamperer has been removed from the recipe list. Vehicle survivability has been increased, and rotten food has been removed from fridges. What are people complaining about? Pay to win. An event game which you can pay real money for has a chance to drop a weapon and ammo near the player after fighting off some zombies and possibly other players. It has since been nerfed to drop further away from the player. What do I think about it? I think I make an entire video about the subject because it's very debatable and I feel like I have a really unpopular opinion about it. Alright, loot. Such a huge topic this week, with the majority of people who have spoken about it are complaining about it. My personal response to this is I'm not having a problem at all. As you can see in the video in the background, I think I found about 25 pistol bullets, an AR-15, a hunting rifle, I'm not sure of the name of it, multiple pistols. What other loot do you really need? Because I was finding everything I needed just then. And that was about 30 minutes before this recording, and I'm going to guess it was about 2 hours before this video was up. Alright, next thing people are complaining about currently is the small map for 200 players. Now, this one I can agree with, and there's not much more I can say on that, except that, you know, it's what's that word for alpha again? Early access. It's early access, and they're working on it, and it was planned to be bigger as far as I can tell. Next one is that the energy and thirst is draining too fast. And although it was fixed originally by berries being buffed, I'm not too sure if they've done too much more about it, but I still feel like it's going down a bit too fast. Especially when you just start out and you don't have a little camp set up where you can hunt and you can gather water in your dew collector. I mean, because if you can do those things, you can survive as long as you want in the wild. Although it gets pretty hard after your axe breaks and you can't find an axe in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, moving on. Hackers and dupers. Lots of people complaining about that now. I actually haven't experienced a hacker or duper, but I noticed lots of people posting screenshots and videos of them, and I feel like they're on the most popular servers. However, I personally haven't experienced it, but I think that's just because I'm on a low pop server. I'm in an area of the map where there's not a whole heap of spawns, and although I do venture out quite a bit, I just don't run into too many people. Or it could just be a great work of them banning them, which I have heard they've been doing quite well. And the last one, the wiping of the servers. So because there are these dupes out that keep happening, people want the servers to be wiped, and my response to that is, why would you want to wipe it constantly while people are just constantly finding new ways to dupe on the server? That makes no sense. You might as well just wait where all the people, the majority of people play properly like they are, and just carry on. And these small groups will find these dupes, and they'll get patched. These people will die and they'll lose their stuff. They'll die to a zombie. Eventually it'll wipe itself out. It might be pretty slow, but until we get a wipe, I think it's not that big of a problem. Unless you're on this really popular server, which apparently has every hacker on it that everyone's complaining about. Hackers. But for me and a bunch of other people that I've talked to, we haven't had much problem on low populated servers. Alright, lastly, what do I want to speak about? Nothing really. I think I've just actually said it all. Check out next week. I'll be doing another one of these. Hopefully some more good news and patches. Hopefully we hear more about the hackers and the loot, because lots of people are complaining about the loot at the moment. Other than that, leave me a comment on what you think I've said or anything about the show. Subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next week. be placed into your inventory. To place the punji sticks, open your inventory, right click them and select place. You will be able to now select where you'd like to place them in the world. By pressing your left mouse button, it will place it down on the ground.